Marcus was surrounded by people every day. He worked with coworkers, greeted neighbors, and smiled at strangers. But every night, when he returned to his small apartment, the silence felt louder than ever. There was an empty chair at his kitchen table. Sometimes he would stare at it while eating dinner alone. He imagined a friend sitting there laughing with him, someone who cared enough to ask, "How was your day?" As the years passed, Marcus became convinced that nobody truly needed him. His phone rarely rang. Invitations never came. He watched families walk together in the park and wondered what it felt like to belong somewhere. One rainy evening, Marcus sat by his window watching the storm. Tears rolled down his face. "Maybe nobody would notice if I disappeared," he whispered. The next morning, he forced himself to leave the apartment and take a walk. As he crossed a bridge, he noticed an elderly man sitting alone on a bench feeding birds. The man smiled and motioned for Marcus to sit. For hours they talked. The old man had lost his wife years ago and felt lonely too. Yet he still came to the park every day, hoping to brighten someone's day with a conversation. Before leaving, the man said something Marcus would never forget. "Loneliness tells us we're alone, but sometimes there are lonely people all around, us waiting for someone to say hello first." From that day on, Marcus started reaching out. He joined community events, checked on neighbors, and spent time with the old man in the park. The empty chair at his table didn't stay empty forever. And Marcus learned that while loneliness may visit, it doesn't have to stay. Sometimes friendship begins with a simple conversation between two people who thought they were alone.
Men often suffer in silence because they think asking for connection is weakness. But the truth is that humans weren't made to carry life alone. Those words stayed with Marcus. He started making small changes. He joined a local basketball group. He called relatives he hadn't spoken to in years. He checked on neighbors. He accepted invitations instead of declining them. Slowly, things changed. His sleep improved. His stress decreased. He smiled more. The empty chair at his table remained there, but it no longer represented hopelessness. It represented possibility. Marcus learned that loneliness can damage a man's mental, emotional, and physical health. It can increase stress, drain motivation, affect sleep, and make life feel heavier than it really is. But he also learned something else. Loneliness is not a life sentence. Sometimes healing begins with one conversation, one friendship, and one decision to stop suffering alone.